Today, we're tackling a hard truth about the sexual marketplace, the way it all ends. We live in an age where fewer people are getting married, fewer people are in long-term relationships, and even hookups are at a historic low. On the surface, people celebrate this as independence or freedom, but in reality, it's a sign of breakdown. And if you're a man serious about building your legacy, you need to understand why this is happening and what it means for you. The root driver of this collapse is female hypergamy, the tendency for women to date and marry up. Now combine that with another cultural fact. In the West, young women under 30 are outperforming young men on nearly every measurable front. They're earning more, graduating from college more, and in many cases, living more structured lives than their male peers. Sounds like progress, right? Well, maybe for them, but it creates a brutal imbalance in the sexual marketplace. Because if women insist on dating up and young men as a whole are underperforming, the pool of eligible men shrinks dramatically. The math is simple. Fewer men make the cut, fewer relationships, fewer marriages. And because sex typically precedes commitment in our culture, fewer hookups mean fewer relationships, which means fewer long-term bonds. Now, here's where it gets even more interesting. Despite all the modern rhetoric about equality and independence, women still wait for men to make the offer. And by offer, I don't mean just marriage. I mean everything from wanna grab a drink to be my girlfriend or will you marry me? Across history, across cultures, the man is the one that is expected to step forward and make that proposal. Here's the catch. Women aren't showing any real signs of changing that. So in their 20s, women are flooded with offers. It feels endless. They think, why settle now? A better offer will come later. But here's the truth bomb most never see coming. At 30 years old, the game flips. That's the point at which, on average, men's sexual marketplace value surpasses women's. Men keep rising into their 30s and 40s as they build wealth, competence, and frame. Women, biologically speaking, begin declining in value as the years pass, just because it's harder and harder for them to go ahead and have as many children, which is something that's really important to men, biologically speaking. So here's the economic reality. The same offer, commitment, provision, protection becomes more expensive for a man to give to a woman in her 30s than it was to give in her 20s. He has more options and she has fewer options, and so that gap only widens over time. When we play this chessboard out 20 moves ahead, we see really there are only 5 endgames for women. So let's walk through them. Number 1, they can keep their price high and win the top man. This is really rare, so maybe 1%. So you have to be a 1% woman to land a 1% man. The second outcome is they can lower the price and win the top man. It's possible, but slim. Maybe like 6% of them can go ahead and accomplish this. The women get access to high value men, but usually it's by giving up some form of leverage. The third possible outcome is they can keep the price high, but fail in landing the top men, and they have to settle for a lower value guy. This is where a huge chunk of women end up. They don't get the man that they want, but they take the man that they can get. Fourth, they can lower their price and still fail and settle for an even lower value guy. This typically happens out of necessity, whether it's the biological clock, social pressure, or fear of being alone. And the fifth outcome is they can end up unpartnered. No husband, no long-term partner, often no children. Right now, it's about 25% of women, and it's climbing toward a third of women. Those are the only ways that it ends. And notice this, the top 2 outcomes, well, together they're about 7%, and the rest are settling or going it alone. So why should you care? Because the reality of these outcomes shapes how women approach you. A woman who settles may never see you as her first choice. That resentment often leaks out in the form of disrespect, manipulation, or disengagement. A woman priced out of the market may be bitter, blaming men instead of her own choices in the matter. Social media only amplifies envy because every woman sees someone online with a lifestyle that she wanted but didn't get. The number one reason many marriages feel cold or dysfunctional, it's because the woman doesn't feel like she's with the man that she wanted the most. Chris Rock put it bluntly, the number one reason your woman is mad is because you're not her first choice. It's harsh, but it's true. So what's the takeaway for you as a man? First, never forget that time works differently for us. Women's peak is early and men's peak is later. Every year that you're stacking skills, wealth, strength, confidence, your value is rising. Second, don't give your commitment lightly. Your commitment is the prize. If you are a strong and consolidated man, she may be the gatekeeper of intimacy, but you are the gatekeeper of legacy. Don't hand that over to a woman who hasn't earned it. Third, be the man who forges his path, regardless of what the marketplace looks like. Because when you have frame and you're strong in body, mind, and spirit, when you build assets and a brotherhood, you decide the terms of your relationships. Not her, not society, not desperation. You're in control. This is the hard truth. Most women will never have a better chance at securing the man that they want than today. And most men will never have a better chance to improve their value than today. So forge yourself, build your competence, strengthen your frame, rise above mediocrity, because the future belongs to the men who seize it. I'm Mike Richter, and this is the Heroes Forge. And if you're ready to forge yourself into the man that your family, your community, and your future need you to be, hit subscribe and join the Brotherhood today.